set out to make a family show in the mode that Doctor Who had set up and in many ways revived in this country.
So you should know, your powers have grown.
There's something at work here that I don't understand.
Are you suggesting sorcery?
We'd always wanted to do something about Arthurian legend.
Nothing, not even this stone, can stand in your way.
Even though the Arthurian legend is actually a very dark adult tale of incest and betrayal and many things.
You must kill Arthur Pendragon.
Almost the earliest idea of this project was that we'd do two things that were very different. We'd make Merlin and Arthur contemporaries. Merlin! And we'd wind the clock back. We'd do it before they were famous.
You're seeing us at a stage where we are these young, inexperienced hopefuls.
You've been here all night? I didn't want you to feel that you were alone. You were a loyal friend, Merlin.
I think you're very aware.
Yeah.
This is what happens when the director is really irritating. I'll keep your horse that way.
Okay.
I'll pull you down to here.
So I see,
yeah. So you're going to see her. She's going to see you before you see her.
Mm-hmm. Guys, rolling!
Gwen.
Will you grant me a favor?
Anything.
Bring him home.
I will protect him with my life.
Thank you.
Cat.
For Gwen, she sort of nurtures the good heart in the men, and I think particularly with Arthur, she sort of allows him to be a bit more sort of emotionally open, allowing his heart to kind of speak sometimes.
Do you remember first time I kissed you? There. That's the memory I want to take with me.
So this is our castle. I remember walking in and seeing it for the first time. It's not a bad first impression. So this is our banquet hall. Fortunately, it doesn't always look like this. It looks much more beautiful, but this is sort of it in its pre-dressed form. When you're in here, this is actually all covered up because we don't see these, because these aren't very sort of medieval, they're not very Camelot. If you can look down, these are the cloisters of Doom, where we all injured ourselves. There was this episode where we had to pull around Uther as a sort of sleeping dead body, and we all got injured doing it. I fell and injured my shoulder, Colin fell and injured his back and had to be taken out in a stretcher. And all of that pretty much happened along that corridor.
And if you look at here, these battlements, when you see those on screen, they look like they're about 30 feet in the air. But in actual fact, they're 3 feet.
According to the legend, there were only 7 Knights of Medea.
And who's the extra rider?
I don't know.
And whoever says the camera doesn't lie is lying.
Get to go up some very winding stairs, which I've actually fallen down.
There's lots of fans around. There aren't lots of fans around when you're in the studio, obviously. It makes filming a little difficult when there are hordes of school children everywhere and fans. Very handsome. Easy? Oh, merci. Mathéo, voyage, je vais pas on va prendre une photo de 10 secondes. Fine. Here we go, dancing.
We have 2 at the minute. I can't tell you why. We should only have 1. It should just be my one. Not gonna let me move that, are they? Probably not do that. Suits me, huh? Be queen.
Taking Camelot was the easy part, Helios. I want Arthur. Where is he?
Just inside there is the throne room, which is where you can see all those lamps all the way along, basically giving us daylight. Not that you think you'd need it on a day like this, but it gives you very directional daylight, and it makes that room look absolutely glowing. Good grief. See, you've never crowned anyone before.
We're affected. Known as Feisty Felstead.
Feisty Felstead. All the crown. The fiery art department.
When the audience met Uther, he was a tyrant and a despot, and he set people on fire or chopped their heads off if they messed with magic. So basically, he's sowed his seeds and reaped the consequences. Trying not to breathe, trying not to move is very hard. Sorry. Sorry. I always knew Uther had to shuffle off this mortal coil in order for Arthur to basically take over and become king.
We're in the throne room at Pierrefonds. This is a very historic and momentous occasion. We're crowning Prince Arthur, who will now become the King Arthur of legend.
I crown you Arthur, King of Camelot.
And we're doing it with a very complex shot.
Long live the king! 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 Long live the king!
This is a crowd replication shot, which means we take 70, 80 extras and we try to make them look like about 800. And it's a very laborious process where lighting has to match, where people have to be moved around and fitted into the right grids. But it's far cheaper than the alternative, which is to digitally create this crowd.
And by the sacred law vested in me, I crown you Arthur, King of Camelot. Long live the king! Long live the king! Long live the king!
That's my son being crowned now.
Long live the king! Long live the king! Long live the king!
Arthur being crowned is a huge moment, largely because it's kind of what we've been working towards for the whole time the show's been going. I've been waiting for that crown for a while. Now it's going to be sitting in its right place.
Long live the king!
Arthur's come a long way from where we first met him, because he was not a very likeable guy when we first met him, but the aim has always been that he starts off at the bottom and gradually gets to become that king that we're all familiar with.
There's something about you, Arthur Pendragon. Something which gives me hope for us all.
As his father dies, there's nobody else of a family nature that he can turn to. And I provide a big shoulder for him to cry on, and he listens to what I say. So I have an undue proportion of influence at court.
To take this bears the royal seal. In my absence, responsibility for the kingdom rests with you.
What about your father?
Should he die, you're to assume the throne. Just grateful you were here.
You have so many different kind of tones to the show. There's the very banterish relationships, and then there's some very sort of quite serious moments that require a different kind of mindset. And then also you have this CGI element of having to use your imagination to pretend that the plank of wood that you're fighting is actually a fearsome beast.
This year has been difficult for me because a lot of what I've done has been CGI. We have a huge new green screen and I did a big sequence of scenes on that. And when you're trying to imagine a ruined castle that's 4 stories high and you're in a green box in Cardiff, there's only so far your imagination can go.
You must be strong. Remember that.
Help me, Emrys. Please.
Is this really what you wanted, Morgana?
We start with, my hair goes in all these sticks. They're all wound up, so because it goes into dreadlocks, then they're left there to sort of set, and then they start on my face makeup, which is sort of halfway done now. And then Carly starts adding pieces, because it's not all my own hair. This is not real. I think a little over 2 hours is my limit. I couldn't do what Carl does with prosthetics, where he's sitting there for 4 or 5 hours. I think I'd go insane. We've got 2 units running today. So we've got second unit, which is pink unit. Got main unit, which is, you know, the white unit. And then we've got all this to learn. And so on any given day, you can do scenes from 6 different episodes, all back to back and all over the place, which can be a little confusing. Lay up on back.
As you can see up here, this is our street. This is where Guinevere lives and where they come and drink in the tavern. So Guinevere's house is up here. Our tavern is beside it. And this is obviously where the non-royalty of Camelot live.
That's better.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. No, it's better. It's better though.
1596, take one.
Close it. And action.
In this scene, Gaius has come to discover that Gwen has been knocked out and 2 guards are with her and they're dead, but he gets to her in the nick of time.
Leave his hand there when we say
Just
freeze.
absolutely still, like he's playing statues. Freeze! Turn! Cut. I'll buy that.
Cut. Yeah, good. That's good. Yeah, great. Yeah, check.